Picture this. You're nestled in for a relaxing evening, finally away from the demands of work. Your phone buzzes, it's an email from your boss, requesting revisions on a project due next week. Suddenly, your peaceful evening evaporates, replaced by the looming pressure of work. Sound familiar? This, my friends, is the always-on work trap, and it's a growing epidemic, especially among young professionals. In today's hyper-connected world, we're constantly bombarded with notifications, emails, and messages, blurring the lines between our professional and personal lives. The expectation to be constantly available and responsive to work demands has become the norm, leaving many feeling tethered to their jobs 24/7. But at what cost? This essay will delve into the pervasive nature of the always-on work culture, explore its detrimental effects, and provide practical strategies for escaping its clutches. We'll hear inspiring stories from individuals who successfully broke free from this trap and rediscovered balance in their lives. The goal is to empower you with the knowledge and tools to reclaim your time, prioritize your well-being, and find a sustainable path to success that doesn't require sacrificing your health and happiness. Most importantly, this is a call to action. It's time to challenge the always-on mentality and create a work culture that values our time, respects our boundaries, and allows us to thrive both professionally and personally. Remember the days when work stayed at work, when evenings and weekends were sacred spaces for relaxation, hobbies, and quality time with loved ones? The rise of technology, while offering incredible conveniences, has simultaneously blurred the lines between our professional and personal lives. Laptops, smartphones, and constant connectivity have made it possible, and often expected, to work from anywhere at any time. While this flexibility can be beneficial, it often comes at a price. The constant influx of work-related communication can leave us feeling like we're always on, unable to truly disconnect and recharge. This blurring of boundaries can lead to a sense of being always on, constantly tethered to our jobs. We check emails during dinner, answer work calls on the weekends, and feel guilty for taking time for ourselves. This constant state of partial attention not only diminishes the quality of our leisure time, but also takes a toll on our mental and physical health. The always-on culture promotes a relentless pace, pushing individuals to work longer hours, sacrifice personal time, and prioritize immediate responsiveness over deep, focused work. This unsustainable cycle inevitably leads to burnout, decreased productivity, and a diminished sense of fulfillment. Are you ensnared in the always-on trap? It can be subtle, creeping into your life gradually, until you find yourself constantly tethered to work. Here are some telltale signs. First, the Sunday scaries on steroids. It's not just Sunday night dread, it's a constant, low-grade anxiety about work, even during your supposed downtime. Second, the vacation guilt trip. You find it impossible to truly disconnect on vacation, constantly checking emails and worrying about what's piling up in your inbox. Third, the phantom phone vibration. You feel phantom vibrations from your phone, a sign that you're hyper-aware of potential work notifications. And fourth, sleepless in Silicon Valley. You struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep because your mind is racing with work thoughts. If any of these signs resonate, it's crucial to acknowledge that you're not alone. The always-on culture is pervasive, but it's not inevitable. Recognizing the signs is the first step toward reclaiming your time and prioritizing your well-being. Section 4. The high cost of being always on. You know, the allure of being perceived as a dedicated, always available employee can be, well, tempting. But the costs of buying into the always-on culture are steep and far-reaching. Physical health takes a hit. Chronic stress, a hallmark of the always-on lifestyle, wreaks havoc on our bodies. Sleep deprivation, headaches, digestive issues, and weakened immunity, these are just a few of the physical consequences. Mental well-being under siege. The relentless pressure to be constantly available fuels anxiety, burnout, and depression. It erodes our sense of control, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and honestly helpless at times. Relationships feel the strain. When we're constantly tethered to work, our relationships suffer, big time. We're distracted, irritable, and emotionally unavailable to the people who matter most, our partners, our families, and our friends. The always-on culture isn't just bad for individuals, it's bad for business too. Burned-out employees are less productive, less creative, and more prone to errors. And let's not forget, they're also more likely to experience health problems, which leads to increased absenteeism and higher healthcare costs. Section 5. Breaking free. Practical strategies for escaping the always-on trap. Escaping the clutches of the always-on culture takes, well, a conscious effort. It's about establishing boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and communicating our limits effectively. Here are some practical strategies to help you reclaim your time and, more importantly, your well-being. Set clear boundaries. Define specific work hours and stick to them. Turn off notifications outside of those times and, honestly, train yourself to resist the urge to check work emails or messages. Embrace the power of no. It's okay to decline requests that encroach on your personal time. Learn to say no politely but firmly to protect your boundaries. Schedule regular breaks. Step away from your desk throughout the day for short breaks. Go for a walk, listen to music, or, hey, just close your eyes and breathe. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Create a relaxing bedtime routine and establish screen-free zones in your bedroom. Remember, breaking free from the always-on culture is a journey, not a destination. There will be challenges and setbacks along the way. The key is to be patient with yourself, celebrate your successes, and keep striving for a healthier, more balanced life.
Section 6. Real-life escapes, stories of freedom. I used to wear my busyness as a badge of honor, but, honestly, it came at a cost. I was exhausted, stressed, and constantly on edge. I finally realized that being always on wasn't making me a better employee. It was making me a worse version of myself. I started setting boundaries, prioritizing my well-being, and delegating tasks. It wasn't easy at first, but the results have been transformative. I'm happier, healthier, and more productive than ever.
I felt chained to my computer, constantly bombarded with notifications and emails. I realized I was missing out on life outside of work. I started taking regular breaks, practicing mindfulness, and setting limits on my work hours. It's amazing how much more focused and productive I am when I'm not constantly on. I'm more present in my relationships, and I have more time for the things I love.
These stories highlight the transformative power of reclaiming our time and prioritizing our well-being. They remind us that it's possible to achieve success without sacrificing our health, happiness, or personal lives. Section 7. Finding your balance, a call to action. The always-on culture is not a fact of life, it's a choice. We can choose to challenge the status quo, to set boundaries, and to prioritize our well-being. It's time to create a work culture that values our time, respects our boundaries, and allows us to thrive both professionally and personally. This is a call to action for all of us, employees, managers, and leaders, to create a more balanced and sustainable way of working. Let's start by having open and honest conversations about the impact of the always-on culture. Let's encourage and support each other in setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care. Together, we can break free from the always-on trap and create a world where work enhances our lives, not consumes them. The choice is ours. Let's choose balance, let's choose well-being, and above all, let's choose to live our lives to the fullest.